So House of the Dragon, this episode, it's a slow grind. I do like it. I don't think it's bad, but at the same time, it's so not the rest of the show. Like the rest of the show is just shock, 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 in your face, in your face, in your face. The best they had for us in terms of shock in this episode was a rando that we were introduced in the episode is killed by Daron, a character we're introduced to in the episode. I mean, Grant, yeah, I know we saw him 2 episodes ago, but I'm saying we were introduced to him as a character here. And that's the biggest shocking moment, is a character that we don't know killing another character that we don't know. It's very, very different from when you start just listing the in your face shock of episode after episode of House of the Dragon, where it was just every episode. Oh, we have an orgy in this episode. Oh, this is Daemon God mode. Like this is Criston Cole beating to death someone, at a wedding. And here, this is a lot of politics, a lot of talk, not much action, a lot of setup. More so than I think of any House of the Dragon episode. I can't think of anything else that was like this. What are your impressions, Carmine?
It's because there's only technically 6 episodes for season 3. They had to cram as much stuff in it. When we watched it last night, you were like, damn, this episode is long. Yeah, it's just a series of like random ass scenes. Someone on Twitter was saying like, this just reminds me of old school Game of Thrones. They're going all over the place. Yeah, you kind of miss that from old school Game of Thrones, but also some of the storylines I'm just not really that invested or interested in. I think Aegon and Larys is the weakest stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
didn't care that much.
It's true. At least with that storyline, we know the two characters, and we know Aegon, so we have an emotional connection to him, and so this kind of comeuppance of like he having to be humbled, at least does something for us. What I have a rough time with Rhaena, where you have this nothing character that we've never spent any time with. And when we do spend time with she's running around, not saying anything in the Vale. And then all of a sudden now she's completely transformed. And you're like, well, we didn't know what she was like before. So I don't know what this transformed Rhaena is, other than that she has a new hairstyle.
So again, we discussed this briefly, but I'll just say it again. In season 1 House of the Dragon, there is like a 2-3 minute moment between Rhaena and her mother about her dad ignoring her. It's just 3 minutes, and then again towards the season finale of season 1, where Daemon lists off all the dragons and says some of them are riderless, and then Rhaena looks up. And then again, you have her whole trial of her trying to tame Sheep Stealer. I don't know. Somehow I feel like enough wasn't given there to really make that stick the landing. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's like I say, I don't think this is a bad episode by any means, but I think a lot of people are going to come away saying, oh, this was boring. What happened? I mean, there was really great character development of establishing Ormond as the new villain. He's an intriguing villain, but he does seem like it all seems lower stakes, which is kind of how Game of Thrones ended, right? You had the high stakes White Walker situation, and then once that was done, we have a lower stakes fight for King's Landing. You're like, you're talking about the fate of the world, and now we're talking about like petty politics. It's the same here. Like Aemond, I feel, is the big baddie. Like he is the guy. He's the thing to deal with. And now we step down. We have to reintroduce ourselves to this different villain who is not as intriguing or dangerous as Aemond. Now, I kind of don't blame the showrunners. I think again the source material has just fundamental structural flaws in it that they just have to deal with.
Say the line, Preston. Say the line.
You want me to say George fucked up? George fucked up? Yeah.
Hey, that scene with Ormond and Daron reminded me of Tywin and Tom in Joffrey's funeral, like where
Yeah.
he's trying to like get Joffrey to come to that certain conclusion and trying to manipulate him.
Yeah, and
Cool.
Okay, let's go through the plot lines in sort of order. Okay, so heading from north to south, we've got Daemon and Rhaenys, and I'm sorry, Wet Blanket Rhaena, not Rhaenys, Rhaena. Wet Blanket Daemon and Wet Blanket Rhaena. I definitely enjoyed the conversation between Daemon and Jeyne Arryn. Both great actors, both dickheads. We love to see dickheads talking to each other and insulting each other and, being underhanded and stuff. Nice little scene. Wet Blanket Rhaena, we just have never been introduced to who she is. So her changing fundamentally doesn't mean anything to me. I think it's a real, maybe I'm just biased because I'm still angry about them cutting the Nettles plot, but I just don't think, I wish they would have given more time to Rhaena early on. We should have known something about her. Because you're right, like the biggest Rhaena scene we're given is when it was a different actress in season 1. Like that was our biggest.
We can't. They couldn't give Rhaena any time in season 2 because they had to give all that time to Alicent to complain why the patriarchy doesn't let her commit war crimes.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's a lot of wasted time. And all right, so if we're still heading south, I guess Larys and Aegon would be the next. I guess that I have more emotional connection there because we know these characters. Larys has completely changed. Like you'd think that he would be a loose cannon, that he would be killing people in the middle of the night and doing random shit. I'm not quite sure how they got away from the guys who were going to kill them at the dragon. They just kind of distracted him and then left. But at least there's that. We're supposed to think about this I know they're just trying to give Aegon something to do until the end, but so they got to have something, and this is the story, him getting humbled. Heading a little down, I guess we've got Criston Cole arriving at Harrenhal with Gwayne, which I'm intrigued by these characters. It's not that I don't think that these characters are really interesting. I like Alice Rivers. I like Cole. I like Gwayne. The thing is, I know they're not going anywhere. I know that nothing's happening with this story. Like, it's like you're spoiled by the source material. It's like, I know it's going to happen. And so his story is going to be a big whimper. It's like, I got PTSD after Rook's Rest, and now I'm wandering in the forest. We get to Harrenhal. Aemond's not even there. Now I'm going to just go fucking kill myself against the guy from Sons of Anarchy. Is that it? Is that Butcher's Ball? He's just turned Butcher's Ball into his long suicide, which is not what I expected. It's not at all what I expected of that character. Or Gwayne, Of course, in the source material, Gwayne has been long dead for a while. So it's what they're doing with Gwayne is, new. I was expecting more between Alice Rivers and Aemond, actually, because there were rumors in the source material that Aemond fucks her and she gets pregnant, but that doesn't happen at all. So, or at least that we know of. Maybe when she was healing him, she molested him. I don't know. She pulled a Jenny or a Forrest Gump's mom thing or whatever. And then King's Landing. A lot in King's Landing. Manderly is Master of Coin. I don't understand that. Like, why did you get rid of an actor that you already cast as Master of Coin? to shove in Manderly.
You know what? I'll defend this. I love the actor. I believe his name is
the guy from
Fogel something.
Fantastic Beasts. Yeah.
The guy from I know him as the guy from Balls of Fury, the ping pong movie. Dan
Oh,
Fogler. I
yeah.
love him. Like perhaps attacks. Like just I don't know. The 1 minute of screen time he had, I loved him. I don't know. I
No,
love
I
that
mean, if
actor.
you've seen the Fantastic Beasts movies, like, and they're nothing to write home about, but he is he and the lead guy are the best parts. He's the character you connect with because he's the Muggle, and he is very charismatic. I will admit that he is much more likable and interesting than the actor they had playing Lord Celtigar, but it's just very interesting. Should have cast him as Lord Celtigar to begin with, right? And then we wouldn't be in this
Nah, I like him.
situation.
I like him as Manderly. He looks like a Manderly.
Does he look like? I mean, he looks like a Mandarin. I mean, he's very charismatic. I will grant that. I mean, it's sort of like Ulf the White. Like, I don't necessarily think they're doing anything very interesting with Ulf the White, but like Ulf the White has a lot of charisma, and you like Ulf the White for some reason because he's just so ridiculous and pathetic and like goofy. Well, Hugh the
The
Hammer
dragon
was,
seeds just we're waiting for the hammer to drop on the dragon seeds when like they're gonna get interesting because even our boy Adam like he's not Adam Ulf Hugh they're
yeah.
not
I
really
mean,
they're just there not doing
they've
much.
really beaten into the ground. They've really seeded the betrayal a lot. Like they've just been treating Ulf like shit for so. I mean, I guess there hasn't been that many episodes. I'm like, but it feels like they've just been treating Ulf like shit forever. Even though obviously Ulf has only been a dragon seed since what, like episode 7 of season 2. So it hasn't been that long, but it feels like that.
Like a week or two maybe,
Yeah. Um,
not a month.
no. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, obviously, like, you know, episodes 8, 1, and 2 were 1 week, but it could have been another week at this point. It's hard. I've been observing things like the rotting of bodies and the healing of characters is off because they're passing through Rook's Rest and soldiers' bodies are still rotting as people are like trying to steal stuff off them, which makes it seem like they died like a week ago. But Aegon's wounds are really healed at this point, and he was savagely burned. So, which is it? Like how long has it been? So, and then of course, I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything. There was a little bit of trying to give Alyn Oakenfist some stuff to do. You're gonna be my hand. That's kind of new stuff to give Oakenfist to give
Not
Alyn.
really, not really replace Corlys with Alan, but like just sit there in my stead while I go take care of Triarchy forces.
Yeah.
Corlys's entire shtick throughout the entire show has always been the Triarchy suck, my wife, my legacy, and the
Mm-hmm.
docs. That's it. That's really all.
Yeah.
He had one cool episode in episode 1, season 3, where he actually did some things. That's about it. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
It's fine. Give it to our boy Abu Bakar. He needs
I
it.
mean, it's funny. It's funny that they've given so much screen time to Alyn when he's not the important one in the story. Like Alan's important post dance. But it's funny how like Adam is the character that actually does shit in Princess of the Queen, Fire and Blood. Alan doesn't do stuff until later, but they've given so much more time to Alan. Adam, I just feel like he's just a cardboard cutout, unlike
You know
Alan.
what I think is happening here? Do you remember who Miles O'Brien is from Star Trek?
Of course. What are you talking about? You're talking to me. What are you talking about? You're like,
I don't
do
know
you
the
know who?
extent of your Star Trek
Do
knowledge.
you know who? Hey, Carmine, have you ever seen the anime show One Piece? Like, what do you fucking
Never.
like? What you're asking me if I know who fucking Miles O'Brien is? Like, what do
The
you what
actor for
we've?
Miles O'Brien,
Yeah, of
they
course.
like They got along with.
Colm, what's his face? Miles Colm.
Yeah.
What's his name?
They the actor, they got along with the
Yeah.
actor so much they just kept giving him storylines because they enjoyed working with him. I imagine for Abu Bakr Salim and maybe some other people as well, that's probably the case. Like, they probably enjoy working with the actor so much, or just giving him random shit to do so he stays on set. Because
He's a good actor.
Miles
He's
O'Brien.
not, I mean, I don't know if he's a better actor than Adam because they haven't given Adam any fucking lines. So I mean, I don't. They haven't given him a shot. But they've given everything to Bakr Salim.